What's up everybody? Welcome back to another episode of B is for Build, fresh from SEMA. I just did a 2,500 mile road trip in our SEMA build. This is a 1967 Mustang Fastback Shelby Tribute build. But the thing is, underneath this is a 2019 Mustang GT. 460 horsepower, 6-speed manual transmission. It drives like an absolute dream. Like I said, we just took it to SEMA. We built it in a little over 30 days, took it to SEMA. The crowds absolutely loved it, and I just got it home. In today's episode, I'm gonna do a recap on how we built every single thing, going from a 2019 Mustang GT to the point where you see it now. And I'm gonna tell you about how much every different part and modification to get us there costs. The total build cost coming right up. Let's get started. Before we get down to it, I wanna take a second out to thank our sponsor. Today's episode is sponsored by Racing Master. Racing Master is a real-time simulation racing game. It's powered by the Codemasters physics engine along with the Unreal 4 engine, and it delivers an intense, lifelike racing experience like no other. They worked really closely with Codemasters. They're the developers behind the titles like F1, and Grid, and Dirt. And with the Unreal 4 engine, the game has unreal amazing graphics, high level of detail. Every car gets rendered out perfectly, even during the intense racing moments. And they've collaborated with top-end car brands like Lamborghini, Ferrari, Aston Martin, Porsche, Koenigsegg, and a lot more to bring all those legendary race cars into the game. But it doesn't stop there. They've also got some American classics too, like the Dodge SRT, the Ford GT, and the Camaro. If you're paying attention to those lists, I own more of those cars than I don't, so you can tell I'm already a fan. And in the game, there's amazing real-life tracks to drive on, like Indianapolis and the Shanghai International Circuit. But on top of that, they've meticulously built out some iconic cities like Chicago, San Francisco, allowing you guys to hit those unique cities at full throttle. And players can customize their ride. You can paint, you can decal, you can body kit, and you can build your own dream car. I like the sound of that. They've introduced a car paint studio in the test version, and players can show off their creations to everybody else, allowing all the players to see and utilize those awesome modifications. The game is released now in a testing phase, so I'm calling for you to jump in and participate in the test. There's links at the top of the description, available for mobile and computer players with an emulator. Players who jump in now can obtain decals and exclusive outfits that are going to be released during the official launch, and players who make top-ups during the beta phase receive a 150% refund upon the official launch. So guys, you can play it on your mobile phone and on your computer. Hit the links at the top of the description. Huge thanks to Racing Master for sponsoring this episode. Let's get down to work. Let's jump right into it. So I'm going to be talking about the cost of everything. I'll run a total in the bottom of the screen, but I'm also going to tell you guys about some of the behind the scenes stuff that may have gotten missed, may not have gotten mentioned during the build. So the first piece of this puzzle is the most expensive piece, and that is the donor car. This is a 2019 Ford Mustang GT. Pretty cool thing is the newer Mustangs have even more power than the previous year, and this thing drives like an absolute dream. It's a 6-speed manual. It's got all the tech you would ever want. It is a pretty perfect car. To be honest with you guys, after driving the finished build, 2,500 miles, I am now in the market to buy another S550 2019 or, within that year range, Ford Mustang GT. I absolutely love these cars. So this particular car was bought at the salvage auctions. It had been hit in the passenger side and the driver's side rear wheel. Minimal damage. It was repaired by new wheels, new tires, and a control arm, and that was literally all the damage that we found that was ever done to the vehicle. So pretty crazy that it got salvaged out, but their loss is my gain, I guess. But in the end, it was expensive for a salvage car. This car cost us $16,000. Usually I'd be looking for a donor car. I'd look for one with a little bit more damage, maybe a door damage, maybe some rear quarter panel damage, side rocker panel damage. That would be great because we're cutting it off anyways. Those types of things. And I'd be looking for a car between $10,000 and maybe $12,000 to $13,000. That price range is probably a lot more economical and better. But at the time I was bidding, the auction inventory was low. I kind of got what I got. After we have the donor car all stripped down, it's time to start moving into the Dynacorn reproduction 67 Mustang Fastback pieces. So you're going to see a lot of these pieces. That's a lot of silver. When you see a silver piece like that, usually means it came from the Dynacorn selection, or when you see a piece that's from a 67 Mustang and it's brand new, probably means I bought it there. So I buy my Dynacorn parts through my friend Nick. He runs a company called Nick's Garage. I'll put a link down in the description. Now the prices of these parts vary depending on which parts you select to build your Mustang from. If you stay closer to stock, it's going to be a little cheaper. If you go closer towards, say, a movie car styling or something else, it's going to be a little bit more expensive. But considering how much it costs to buy an original 1967 Mustang Fastback these days, almost all of them are $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 or above, and then going to have rusted out metal, which you're then going back to Dynacorn to buy reproduction parts from. I feel like the parts came in at a pretty good price. The price for all of the Dynacorn reproduction parts that we bought was $11,000. Those are the two biggest ticket items that we had on this build. This time, the Dynacorn reproduction parts were pretty good quality. I will say it seems like they make these things in batches, and especially with the doors, it can be a little bit hit and miss. But I think this time that the parts that we got were really good. The panel gaps definitely reflected that. The car overall build quality and gap quality was really good. The other thing to look for is the fenders. Everybody knows that the reproduction fenders on these cars are just tough to work with and often need to be basically re-panel gapped. You got to trim them all the way down the line and reset your panel gap. And that leads to a lot of body work and a lot of added cost. One funny thing about this build is when we were working on fitting the hood on the front, the engine cover and some of the different accessories is different on the 2019 than it is on the older years, and we didn't know if we were going to actually be able to make the hood fit on this car. Luckily, we were able to take the engine cover off, found a quick little hack with the oil fill neck and oil cap that allowed us to eliminate the fill neck to be able to lower the profile on the engine down so the hood would fit. The gas fill neck is something that we had to fabricate to change the filling location from the side up to that rear quarter panel. The end cap that we have, that's a Le Mans style Shelby cap. It's a beautiful billet aluminum piece. Looks amazing. You can polish it or leave it kind of brushed. It comes in about $200. Within the doors, we decided to put electric door lock poppers. I got the kit to do that. It came with the solenoids and some of the wiring. Honestly, threw most of the kit away, but used the solenoids. It was from a brand that I knew and I liked. Starting to do some work customizing some fiberglass pieces. So we bought some of these base pieces that were E-car styled from Mexico, and those pieces are the fender flares and the side skirts. And for both of those pieces, it was only actually $300, which is a pretty good deal. Quick shot of 3D printing there. That cost $20,000, but we're not going to add that to the budget because that's a tool, not a piece. That's the biggest regret on the build. Isn't even really the build. It's a tool we bought and used on the build. We've got Kyle swapping out the stock suspension for the adjustable BC Racing BR Series coilovers. These are worth every penny from a drivability standpoint. You have adjustable suspension stiffness that actually really works really well. You can go straight from sport to comfort. That's a $1,000 upgrade. It's worth every penny. I'm testing out the taillights here. The taillights that are on a Shelby GT500 are actually from a Mercury Cougar, something that Shelby liked the look of and brought over to his car model. And you can still buy some of that stuff from Ford, but there is a bezel that you're really going to want, and that costs you a pretty penny. All said and done, those taillights are about a $400 package. .3D printing the front bumper is a hard one to put a price on. Like I said, the 3D printer did cost $20,000, but let's not talk about the cost of our tools. In filament, which is the plastic that it's made out of, it costs about $100. And then in fiberglass, we had about $200 total in resin because there was a lot of waste doing a lot of different things, and about $50 in fiberglass. Keep in mind, some of these items like suspension, wheels, tires, exhaust are given to us by sponsors. I'm just telling you the retail price of those things, but huge thanks to the sponsors that do support us in these crazy builds and help bring the price down even a little bit more. This exhaust that we're building is utilizing DNA motoring exhaust from a 350Z. That kit is about $300 on eBay. We're using the 2 rear mufflers and the Edinburgh tubes, or whatever those are called. The rear duckbill trunk lid and the end caps, the corner caps for the quarter panel, those are part of the Dynacorn order. That's how we got those. So that's built into that original $11,000 price. The headlight buckets and the headlights we actually had sitting around from an old build. So I'm going to call that recycled, and I'm not going to add that to the budget. Part of the reason I really wanted to do this build is we had a lot of parts laying around that could use it, save some money. Body filler is about $30 a gallon. We did turn about 1.5 gallons of it into dust, so that's $50. Looking at custom steel work here, in steel supplies, we had some thin gauge sheet metal, we had some 1x1 that was used, we had some 1.5 by half, and we had roll cage material. And I would say, all said and done, for the sheet metal and different things we used, that's gonna run us about $300. And you can see we were cutting out grill material. We actually reused some old grill material from the old build, but that's about $100 as well. It's shown just super quickly, but there's actually a gas cap on the back of the car, and nobody's ever mentioned why is there one on the back of the car if there's one in the quarter panel. Shelby style is in the quarter panel. Rest of the Mustang world, it's in the back. We could never make the one in the back actually work because it doesn't flow downhill into the fuel cell. So we run that one just to fill the gaping hole in the taillight panel and make it look normal. And that one costs $100. It's not a very cheap gas cap. The paint that we used around the roll cages, the door jambs, all the hard to reach areas for wrap, and the places that we need to make sure the wrap had really, really good adhesion properties, that paint cost us about $100. It wasn't too much paint. I actually used every little bit of it that we had, and that's a single stage automotive paint there. The cold air intake that we installed, that was provided by Holley. That runs about $400. I was really, really impressed with this faux leather adhesive wrap stuff that we got. It works amazingly well for creating really cool looking interior panels. And all of that material was only $125, and we have left over so much. So I'm gonna say we used about a quarter of that, and I don't wanna do the math, so I'll just say 30 bucks. The Hurst short shifter is also provided by Holley. That costs $200. The long shot Android screen that we're installing here in the center console, that is $200. I would say for $200, it is worth it. It's good enough for $200. It's not worth a dime more than $200. Vinyl wrap was provided to us by Nosatech. A full roll of vinyl wrap costs about $1,500 depending on which brand you go with, but Nosatech is a very, very good brand. So we'll build that one out at $1,500. We had to hire in labor. We had 3 guys working for 2 days on this, and then I had help at SEMA as well. That labor ran us $3,000 to get a wrap installed on this car last minute. So that comes out to a pretty big ticket item, but it was absolutely worth it because we weren't gonna make our deadline without it. Let's call it 40 bucks worth of plywood for our interior decking and a little bit of felt to finish out the back side of that. The interior paneling in this car was not cheap. That came out to $600 to order all the interior paneling. Glass-wise, we had the rear glass sitting around in the old shop. Front windshield, that cost us $250 as well. All of our trims and molding pieces were actually recycled from other builds, so that came out at free. Wheels and tires, as we get them on at the end, tires are gonna run us about $1,200 bucks for a set of G2s, and the wheels are gonna vary between $800 and $1,000. Koenig did give us 4 or 5 sets of them to try out, but we only ran one in the end, so we'll build that out at $1,000 bucks. During the road trip to SEMA, I thought the car was just really missing something. I had to have racing stripes, so we went ahead and bought the vinyl, $150 bucks for racing stripes, and installed racing stripes while we were at SEMA. And I also asked Tavares if I could borrow a jack from him, which I then stole from him and brought back to my shop, so that's plus $100 bucks to the budget. That's how stealing works. And that brings our grand total on this build to $40,325. The 2019 Mustang GT sells used right now for low 30,000s. MSRP was about 36,000. The 2024 Mustang is going to run you about 40,000. So we're just peaking around what a new Mustang would cost. But for such an amazing build with classic looks that are never going to become outdated, I'm very, very happy with the build cost on this. Check out our other episode about building our white Mustang if you want to see how much that one costs to build in comparison to this. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss our next build. That episode drops in 3 days from now. I'll see you guys then. Peace! Come on!